Okay, this is video document number 010306070301. This is simply just to give my comprehension on the relationship between the people and the government, or the government as an entity, and myself as a du jour living, breathing man, woman, child of naturally born on the land. And here is my comprehension of what has gone. Well, I'm not going to give you history, but the government is simply a management company, and people, they get confused. They say it's a corporation. Very well could be. I have seen and do have several documents that indicate so. However, when we say government, the people delegate the powers to that government. The government took those powers and used our credit and our monies, and continued at that point to try to drain everything, every last bit of life out of the people. And at that point already, it's beyond criminal. It's insane. Okay, so the government took what we delegated to them. They failed. The power we delegated to them, they failed. They failed several times. They've been through repeated bankruptcies, extramarital affairs. This is all with our monies and or credit, and what appears to be much, much worse, including insurrection, rebellion, sedition, usury, and even treason, which is probably most of it. And we'll have to see how this plays out. However, I do know that the relationship between the government, which we made and we agreed to as a people, is not a ruler of any kind. It is simply an administrative. It is to oversee administrative duties. That's it. And when they fail to discharge their powers and their duties of administration, as right now we are in a government shutdown. Why? Because they have failed. It doesn't matter at this point, as I make this video document, as it has now crossed over into, I believe, 2019, and I believe it has. We're about 17 minutes into it. It is 12:17 a.m., January 1st, 2019. The government is presently in a government shutdown. Regardless of whatever the reason is, they are in a shutdown because they have failed to discharge properly the powers and privileges and the credit and the monies. Obviously, they've been through repeated bankruptcies several times now. That's it. So this video document that's what it's about, to give my comprehension on the people and its relationship to government. There is no argument right now. Not that I would, but there is no argument, because we are in a government shutdown, period. Whatever the reason is at the moment, they have failed their duty and by operation of law, and I'm doing this, and it's not my every time responsibility to educate learned men and women of government, of banks, of whatever it is. The government works for the people. We delegate and hire the government, or the management company, if you will, and they discharge those powers. If they can't do it, if they haven't done it, if they are incapable of doing it, nevertheless, right now, we are in, I repeat, a government shutdown that is obvious on its face and on its condition a failure. Okay, so I am just making that very clear in this video document, and that is the main thing that I wanted to make very clear, just in case it should come up in the future. As I speak here and now, we are in a government shutdown because those that were either elected, which we know now they are more selected, they have failed. And by operation of law, I'm going again by memory here, but whoever wants to can go and look this up. This is common sense. You don't have to look this up. By operation of law, when a government and or an agent is delegated power by a source and fails to discharge that power, or becomes incapable of discharging that power automatically returns to the source, and in this case, the source is the du jour people of the United States of America, the living, breathing, sentient beings. And in closing this video document out, and I really hope I don't have to make any more, let me say two things. Number one, I have now gone over and above what I have to and what I didn't really have to and should never have had to, simply to make a correction in one's status so as to not being able to find somebody. I don't think so. Such as not being able to tell if you are a living individual. I don't think so. And I believe those who know, and I know there are a great many that do know what I'm talking about. I have gone over and above what I have to and never should have had to make a correction. However, there is something sinister that lies beneath that, with alternate groups of citizenry and infiltration and sedition and rebellion and usury and treason. I've already been over that. However, so those two things. Number one, I've gone over and above to send in or to prove my case. It is beyond proven. And this is the final element. This is it. Learned men and women do not need that much proof to tell who I am. Second, I have no choice now, as I have held off as long as I can, but I will now, as whomever, as I have been told to send it in, because technically there is no government right now. So we are the people. We are the government. And as a courtesy, I have done many, many, many things in the information that I have prepared so that it can be accessed anywhere. This video document is evidence of one of them, to make it easy on those who will be selected by the people to do this job, so that whomever it may be is not ever again impeded or resisted when they, simply try to claim a process or a privilege that they already are due and have coming to them. You can look at it as heritage, inheritance, I don't care. But just to make sure that it is known that I have gone way over and above. This thing has taken almost a decade of my life, and straight paperwork, we're going on a year and 8 months as of January 2019. So I will now have no choice but to attempt to use the remedies that I am aware of, because of the very unprofessional non-response acquiescence, which, if you know what you're talking about, basically is nothing else than traces down to cover up many, many, many other, you can call them crimes or happenings that should never have happened. Okay, so just one last time, I will now have no choice but to exercise the remedies that I am aware of, and I expect to be helped and not resisted. Okay, thank you so very much for taking the time to listen to this or watch this, listen to this video document. And this is the end of video document number 0103 0607 0302. Thank you very much.